Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, here to talk more about Star Wars Outlaws, and man, oh man, are people absolutely crapping on this game, and I'm happy that they are. When this trailer initially came out, and when we got the price points, when we got some of the details about this game, I really thought that I was going to be one of the few people that push back on this game. I just felt like while I was recording that video, Star Wars is such a big IP. I know that people are incredibly excited about the game, and I know that some of the things that I talk about, things like the early access period in gaming, things like deluxe editions, things like premium editions getting so egregious, and I tried to be pretty fair with talking about games. I crapped on Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which I think that game is fantastic, but I'm still gonna crap on a game like that for locking away New Game Plus behind the Deluxe Edition. More recently, we talked about Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, and I had a lot of things to say about that game as well. Being a kickstarted and crowdfunded game and still doing the early access gimmick, having an $80 Deluxe Edition, I just thought was whack. I try to be fair across the board. However, when it comes to Ubisoft, I do know that there's two things to consider. First of all, a lot of people have their opinions on Ubisoft, and Ubisoft is not this beloved publisher in all of gaming. However, at the same time, Star Wars Outlaws is one of those games that I feel like people are not even going to care that it's a Ubisoft title, and people are going to be excited about it regardless. However, after uploading that video and then seeing what the general consensus has been towards this game, it seems like a lot of people agree with me, and it's not just agree with me. A lot of people have these opinions, but it seems like a lot of people are actually pushing back towards Ubisoft, which actually makes me incredibly happy that people are starting to call out this BS for what it is. Absolute BS. We already have video games going up to $70, and $70 price points isn't something that I've pushed back too much on, because at the end of the day, I do get that gaming is a business. I do get that games are getting more expensive to develop for, and everything is seemingly going up in price. So games going up to $70 after they had been $60 for so long, I was like, okay, it is what it is, but games aren't really going up to $70, and I think you guys know where I'm going with this, in the sense that it seems like more and more developers and publishers are trying to figure out more crafty ways that, yes, they can keep that base game at $70, but content or features that were, generally expected to be in a base game version are now slowly and quietly being filtered into these deluxe editions, into these premium editions. Look, with Star Wars Outlaws, you do have a season pass included with the gold edition. We don't know the extent of the content that's going to be included in said season pass, but it is a $40 season pass. $40 for a season pass, and that $40, they're telling you that there's going to be this story-based content post-release ahead of the game's actual release. I saw somebody comment in our last video talking about, hey, well, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree is $40 as well. There's a difference between Ubisoft and From Software. First of all, From Software has built a significant, and I mean significant, amount of goodwill with their audience, where if you buy a From Software game for $60, you know you're getting a quality game for $60. They drop some of the best games on the market today. I cannot say that for Ubisoft. On top of that, there wasn't this whole idea and gimmick attached to Elden Ring ahead of its release, being like, oh, we're gonna do this DLC plan and we're gonna roll out DLC every 6 months following the game's release. No, the game came out, it was a fully sized $60 game, and now they're doing a significant expansion, and if I would have to take a guess, I would imagine that Shadow of the Erdtree is gonna be a significant expansion that's gonna offer a lot of content. I don't know that, but guess what? From Software, they have developed that level of goodwill, they have developed that level of trust, where I'm confident in saying that. Ubisoft does not have that level of goodwill. They do not have that level of trust where I can confidently say that a $40 season pass is gonna be worthwhile. And the fact is, we are being told that there's going to be story-based content in this season pass ahead of the game even coming out. So we have this season pass being locked away. Either you buy it standalone for $40 or it's in the gold edition. And then another feature that was available to us in the heyday of gaming, but seemingly more and more publishers are going away from it, is the idea that we get to play the game on its release day when we spend full price on it. That is supposed to be what it is. You spend $70, you get the game the day it comes out if you want it. That's when the game releases. No, we have this fake early access gimmick that Ubisoft has been prominent in featuring in their games, with games such as Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown earlier this year, Skull and Bones, of course, and not only that, Ubisoft employs the trifecta. The trifecta is this: you have a $70 game release, big budget title, at a premium price point. Not only that, you have in-game microtransactions, you have DLC, you have monetization outside of that $70 release, and dare I say, egregious monetization outside of that base game release. And you're doing the early access gimmick on top of that. With this game, you're just doing so much. You're nickeling and diming the consumer, and I get it. Star Wars is an expensive license, but this doesn't stop with Star Wars with Ubisoft. It happened with Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, another licensed game. It happened with Skull and Bones. That's not a licensed game, and that game flopped. And they're just going to continue and continue to do this. And again, when you look at it from a game publisher standpoint, they're going to try to get away with a little bit here. And a lot of gamers are going to be like, okay, let's give them an inch. And Ubisoft at this point, they don't just take a mile, they've taken multiple miles, and they're going to keep pushing and pushing to see how much they can get away with. They have become one of the most egregious publishers in all of gaming, especially given where Ubisoft was in the late 2000s and early 2010s. I thought in the late 2000s and early 2010s, Ubisoft was doing a lot of great stuff. And to talk about the topic of this video, it again seems like that the gamers are actually pushing back and crapping on this game. The Star Wars Outlaws official story trailer video on Ubisoft's website has Ubisoft's YouTube channel has over 1 million views, and all of the top comments crapping all over Ubisoft. Never believe Ubisoft until you try the game yourself. Remember, never pre-order from Ubisoft. Remember, this is a Ubisoft game. Ubisoft told me to be comfortable not owning their games. I'm going to be very comfortable not buying this. Vote with your wallet, everyone. Remember, this is Ubisoft. Don't pre-order. $70 for the game, which doesn't even include all the content. For that, you have to pay another $40 for the full game. Ubisoft and Disney Star Wars credibility is zero. Ubisoft needs to get used to consumers not buying their games. Remember, no pre-orders. Oh, you see what they did, guys? They hired the face animators from Mass Effect Andromeda. Remember the company that makes this game. You want to survive and know the players. Funny that line should come from Ubisoft. Best character is the droid with the trench coat. Another person bold of Ubisoft to open their trailer with their corporate pitch meeting for the game, but I appreciate their honesty. Game ends with her picking up a lightsaber. We've been Ubisofted again. My favorite part of Ubisoft games are their lifeless, glazed over eyes. Always online single player, offline story game. Ubisoft is gonna Ubisoft. Yeah, that is absolutely accurate. Ubisoft and Disney, two companies that have not gotten any money from me in years, and joined forces to not get any more money from me. I can't wait to buy this game 2 months after release in 90% discount. Why do you need online in a single player game? Side quest, collect 100 worm food for that big worm. Okay, yeah, and we all know Ubisoft kind of has their formula for their open world games, but Ubisoft needs to be called out more and more, because there's obviously talent in Ubisoft. There's obviously people that are incredibly passionate with game development, but Ubisoft from a publishing standpoint wants to employ all of these gimmicks: the early access gimmick, the DLC gimmick, the monetization gimmick. And I say gimmick, it's just a way for them to make money, and it's absolutely egregious, and they need to be called out more. A lot of you guys sometimes say that, hey, I'm way too negative, hey, I complain, I moan about things, and don't spend your money on it. Well, I do cover video games on this channel, and guess what? I personally, this channel does have a good relationship with Ubisoft. Ubisoft has given us copies of games before to cover, and we have covered them, but guess what? That doesn't make it so I'm not going to call them out for their BS. I am going to continue to do that, and if that hinders my relationship with Ubisoft, I really don't care at the end of the day. I need to call out garbage for when I see it. After what they did with Avatar, after Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and I loved Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown as a game, but at the end of the day, you're already pricing that game at $50 and then $60 for a deluxe edition with fake early access, and now Skull and Bones, and now really this is the one that is so egregious, because I think there's a lot of people that are actually excited for this game, or were excited for this game. Outlaws is just absolutely disastrous, and we haven't even talked about the internet connection needed to install gimmick that's in this game as well. I'm sure we'll talk about that in a future video, but actually happy to see that people have pushed back and have crapped on this game where it is deserved. deserved. It's absolutely deserved, and if they keep getting away with this, and maybe they'll ultimately get away with this with Outlaws, it'll sell really well, and all of my points are moot, but at the very least, I can say that I did a video calling it out, and I feel like a lot of people are doing good work in calling it out. But that will be doing it for me. Again, Star Wars Outlaws is a game that I am hoping turns out well. I'm hoping that the actual gameplay turns out decently, but what Ubisoft is doing from the content and being always online and all of these elements are absolutely whack. I'm happy to hear that people are actually calling it out. It's actually one time where I think gamers have unanimously crapped all over a game, and I think hopefully at least Ubisoft can be like, alright, maybe we should adjust a little bit. But that'll do it for me. Who knows if they'll actually do anything? Probably not, but it's still worthwhile to talk about it. But yeah, that'll do it for me. Your thoughts down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.